All right. The failed former president Donald Trump, under 4 criminal indictments and dealing with multiple civil suits as well, was back in court yesterday in New York City. This is his civil fraud trial, which may effectively shut down his business in New York. Donald Trump attempted to make a number of statements. Trump attempted to use language to communicate to other Homo sapiens after leaving the courtroom. And it really did not go well. It has been an insane 24 hours for the failed former president. It has been sort of lost in the shuffle of so much of the other important news that we've been following earlier in the show. But I do think this is worth looking at. As you may know, Donald Trump was recently hit with a second gag order, gagged badly, just choked. And this one from Judge Tanya Chutkan. The gag order says Trump really cannot go after, personally attack members of individuals, court personnel, judge, prosecutor, etc. Now, Trump comes out and viciously attacks Attorney General Letitia James, who he describes as a lunatic. Here is the failed former president. Remember that he is a civilly liable rapist. His attorney, Alina Habba, standing behind him. And Trump looks unwell. He sounds unwell. And he continues to tell extraordinary, provable lies.
We made a loan. We were very happy with the loan. We got paid back. There were no defaults. It was a very good transaction. And he would do it again. He was a very powerful witness. And we have other executives coming in from banks that will say the same thing. This is a disgraceful situation. This is an attorney general, Letitia, that went out and campaigned on, I will get Trump. I will get Trump no matter what. I'll get Trump. I promise I'll get him. We have 2 tapes on her now that have come out since the trial because people took tapes of her because they couldn't believe her ranting and raving like a lunatic. But just as the Attorney General of New York State, Letitia James, and she shouldn't be allowed to be Attorney General. She's defrauded the public with this trial. She said that Mar-a-Lago, she convinced the judge that Mar-a-Lago was worth, in Palm Beach, Florida, the most expensive land in the world, I guess.
There it is. Maybe you didn't know that. Buckingham Palace has nothing on Trump's gold-plated Mar-a-Lago with documents stacked around the toilet.
And the most expensive houses definitely in the world, the Mar-a-Lago, the biggest house, the most spectacular place in all of Florida, was worth $18 million.
Now remember, there's a difference between what a property is worth on the open market and what its assessed value for tax purposes is. Aside from the fact that Trump regularly lies about the value of Mar-a-Lago, Trump continues to conflate what he believes is the market value and the assessed value for tax purposes. It's such a relevant detail, and it's also almost completely irrelevant in that no matter what, Trump would be lying about this regardless.
Worth approximately, could be close to 100 times that amount. And based on that testimony and based on her convincing the judge that Mar-a-Lago was worth $18 million instead of $1 billion to $1.5 billion, which
Now, understand that with these numbers, during the trial, Trump's estimate of the value of Mar-a-Lago has gone up 50%. During the fraud trial that's been going on. Hard to believe.
Would sell very easily, which we've already proven, but we'll have people come up and say that and prove it, the most important people, the brokers that make the sales. But based on that, he ruled against me. He ruled fraud. I mean, he said fraud. They are the fraudulent people. Because they ruled a house that was worth 18, they put down as worth 18 million, and it's worth maybe close to 100 times that amount. And
now we're up to 1.8 billion in value.
Based on that, they ruled against me having to do with fraud, which is a big statement. But they are the frauds, because the house is worth $1 billion, $1.5 billion, 750 million, which is worth a fortune. It's the most expensive house probably in the world, and they said.
And yes, Trump is repeating himself.
It was worth $18 million. And
all right. So Trump lying. The judge did not rule that Mar-a-Lago is worth that. It is, of course, about the assessed value for taxes. And the judge ruled it's probably between $18 and $27 million. Now, Trump says it's worth 1.5 billion, probably untrue. The assessed value of 18 to 27 million by many real estate estimates signals a market value maybe around 30 to 40 million dollars, 42 at the very most, if Trump were to clean up that bathroom and get the documents out of the toilet. But That's roughly where we are. So this is continue. And when we see these things, I genuinely don't know whether Trump doesn't understand this stuff, whether Trump gets it, but he says these things for the benefit of his supporters, although I don't know what difference it makes because ultimately it's a proceeding in a court of law. I don't know what the deal is. Trump then also complaining about the gag order when he came out of court.
This is a rigged trial. This is a rigged situation. And our country can't stand these things. And the people of our country understand it. We're being railroaded. And I have other trials we're being railroaded.
Every single one of these trials, criminal trials, D.C., Florida, Georgia, civil trials, it's all just, there's no evidence, guys, for any of it. It's just Trump being railroaded.
Yesterday, where they take away my right to speak, I won't be able to speak like I'm speaking to you. And I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying the truth. I won't be able to do this with that trial because the judge, which of course we're appealing, because the judge said basically I don't have a right to speak. And I'm the number one candidate leading the Republicans by 55 or 60 points.
Now, this also is important to correct because these free speech, I don't even know what to call them, the free speech people who don't even know what the First Amendment says. Trump is allowed to speak. Trump is allowed to campaign. Trump is allowed to make statements. It is a very, very mild partial gag order that was issued, which is totally legal, totally constitutional, doesn't violate Trump's First Amendment rights. And it says Trump cannot publicly target witnesses and potential witnesses, Special Prosecutor Jack Smith, Judge Tanya Chutkan, her staff, any court personnel, or the families of those people. Trump can still condemn Biden. He can say the case against him is politically motivated. He can say you should vote for him for president, that Hamas never would have attacked Israel if he were president. He can say, I won the election, even though he didn't. It is a partial gag order restricting his ability to attack the people involved in the trial.
That should be over. And leading Joe Biden. And I'm being restricted. My speech has been taken away from me. I'm a candidate that's running for office, and I'm not allowed to speak. This is a railroading that's all coming out of the Department of Justice.
And remember, there's absolutely no evidence whatsoever that this is coming out of the Department of Justice.
It's all set up by Biden and his thugs that he's surrounded with to try and sneak out an election victory that he's not entitled to win because he's been the worst president in the history of our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, everybody. All right. So Trump attempting to make some statements when leaving court. Trump trothing this morning that he is already back in court. And in fact, troth-central is going to be my next topic of discussion today. People in my audience who sometimes struggle with sleep. You know, you've got those habit-forming prescription medications, which sometimes have side effects. You've got your herbal remedies that often do nothing. That's why the go-to can be melatonin, which is clinically proven to work and without the side effects and the grogginess. Our sponsor, Beam, makes delicious nighttime hot cocoa drinks called Dream with melatonin to help you get to sleep. Melatonin can also help correct circadian rhythm disturbances to get your schedule back on track. Like, for example, if you have jet lag, Beam's Dream Hot Cocoa with melatonin comes in great tasting flavors like mint chocolate chip, chocolate peanut butter, sea salt caramel, or caramel. Come on. No sugar added, sweetened with monk fruit, only 15 calories per serving. My favorite is cinnamon cocoa. I'll just be upfront. It's great to have before bed sometimes. It's hot, very flavorful, but not overly sweet. It's just a soothing way to wind down like an hour before going to bed. For a limited time, you'll get up to 40% off when you go to shopbeam.com/Pacman and use the code Pacman at checkout. The link is down below.